Hey, what's up my fellow runners? How you guys doing? My name is Matt and this is where we cover all things running wise. We have even set up some Christmas lights for this time of year. In this video we are focusing all about bulletproofing your knees with some exercises that will not only protect and strengthen your knees, but will also make sure you add some of that precious performance. So if you want to know all about how it's done, make sure to watch the video. If you don't want to miss anything from our channel in the future, make sure you're subscribed. If you're ready to lace up, hit the pavement and ensure your knees are in it for the long run, you have come to the right address. Let's go! As a physiotherapist, I see a lot of runners with knee problems, and sadly, knee problems are very common with runners. They often have a self-diagnosis for their complaints. And don't get me wrong, I love that runners are educating themselves about their injuries or how to get better. Heck, I started this YouTube channel for the same reason. But when I see those people, they often have very difficult and complex self-diagnosis, like my pelvis is a little bit misaligned, or there is something wrong with my running technique, or I may have weak hip flexors. I don't know why, but I get the last one a lot. And these issues are very hard to identify in the first place and also to treat. And what I'm about to tell you next is just based on my opinion and in my own personal experience, but most of the injuries are due to a change of load to the knees. So if you have increased your running volume over a weekly period, or you are upping the intensity on your runs, I feel like this is a much more common issue when running than it has to do with any of the previous things I mentioned. Therefore, I think it's important that you look back and check whether anything has happened to your training load in the time you got the injury. And this could also be due to your body's capability of handling the load. So if you haven't slept well and maybe had a lot of stress in the period you got the injury, and I think they are a lot more common than the other things I mentioned, where you have pelvis misalignment and running technique issues and so forth and so forth. So then if you want to fix this problem, which in my opinion is the number one problem with runners, then I know, I hate to break it to you, but you may have to back off a little bit from the running. I know, it's only temporary, but you still might have to do so. Give your body some time to adapt or to just heal naturally, and also maybe incorporate some exercises where you will strengthen your knees and your region around those knees. And guess what? We just so happen to be making a video about these, so what exercise you should be doing I'll be covering soon. If you have trouble finding out what the exact problem is, then I suggest you seek the advice of a professional, since this will be beyond the scope of this video, because it will take too long, and let's face it,
ain't nobody got time for that.
And you probably don't want to hear me speak for hours. 5 minutes will probably be more than enough. The first exercise I will advise that you're doing is the lunge. I know it's a very basic exercise, but basic doesn't mean bad. It doesn't have to be complex to be a good exercise. And with the lunge, you are using a lot of the same muscle groups as you do with running. And that's what makes this exercise so great. You are training the exact muscles you need when running. Plus, with the lunges, you are also working higher and lower up the chain. So you're strengthening your hip, your calves, your core, and many other regions. You also have a lot of variations with this exercise. You can do a Bulgarian split squat, or you can do jumping lunges, but I suggest you start off with the regular lunge as I'm doing now, because this one will help you most. If you're trying to strengthen your knees, try to do this exercise 3 sets until fatigue. So this means you should be doing the exercise until you feel tired or the muscles are feeling tired. Take a break and repeat this 2 more times. The next exercise we have on the list is a sissy squat. During this sissy squat, you put a lot of load on the knee, and you're thinking, isn't it bad when I'm putting a lot of load on the knee? Well, the exact opposite is true. By loading the knee, you are making sure that your knees are able to handle much more load in the future. Next up, we have some skater hops. Skater hops are just great because they add some plyometry to the exercise. But with the skater hops, you are actually activating and training those muscle groups you aren't really using when running too much. This is great to protect you in the future from injuries and also add a little bit of extra strength. And finally, the single leg deadlift. This is, so we don't forget, the posterior chain of muscles in the leg, and they are also a great exercise for stability. To all runners who have experienced some knee pain in the past, let me know what exercises you did to get better and also if it worked or not. If you have any issues, definitely try these exercises because they will help you tremendously in the long run. But also, if you don't have any injuries, try these. They will be awesome at preventing injuries in the future. That's it for me, guys. I hope you are absolutely smashing your next workout. Keep training, keep enjoying, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.